Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kassandra and I'm going to be taking you through this 30-minute or so intermediate morning yoga practice. This is a really energizing yoga class and also I think a great one to work on your mind-body connection. So as we flow through some maybe challenging poses and transitions, you want to be really aware of what your internal dialogue is like. So what thoughts come up for you as you flow first thing in the morning. We're really trying to use these morning classes to set the foundation for the day ahead. So it's a great way to establish this by starting right on your mat with some optimism, some positivity, and really just learning to go with the flow and to trust yourself throughout. So a really fun practice, definitely intermediate level, and no props are required. So let's begin with a little half butterfly sequence. So you can come out to take a seat and extend your right leg out and bring your left foot to the inside of the thigh. And I'm trying to open my legs wide, of course, taking into consideration that we do tend to have a little bit less freedom of motion first thing in the morning. So you can do this a little bit more conservatively. And we're going to start with a side bend. So you can just slide your right hand down your right leg. Left arm will just reach up and over. So a bit of a stretch down the legs, but I really want you to focus primarily on lengthening through the left side of your body, on letting your head be heavy and really rolling that left shoulder back as if you were leaning back against the wall. And I like to push my right heel and my right knee, kind of like the back of the thigh, into the mat. And you can use core strength to lift yourself back up. Left hand can go behind you. We're going to do a little baby wild thing. Right arm reaches up and over as you press and lift your hips. Nice counter stretch here. And set your hips back down. Go ahead and face over towards that right leg and you can fold on in. Again, first thing in the morning, I'm not going to push or pull. I'm going to make this a passive forward fold. So just letting gravity take me to the edge, which is the most comfortable for me right now. As we move and flow, we'll start to warm up and really stretch things out. This is to help us get a feel for where there might be tension in our bodies, what we might need to be more aware of. One more big breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, you can start walking your hands back, curling yourself back up. And we'll go do this to the other side. So bring that right foot in and extend your left leg out. Again, just choosing the angle and the openness of your hips that makes the most sense for you this morning. And we'll find a side bend first. So notice the tendency to kind of tilt forward. I really want you to lean back into this one. And try not to tense up through your jaw, through your neck. Pushing down into your right hip and at the same time lengthening as if someone was pulling on your right wrist. Into our little baby wild thing, so you can lift yourself up. Right hand goes behind you. Swing that left arm up and over. Press through your hips. And your hips come back down. We'll do a forward fold towards our left leg this time. Really passive, just let yourself melt into it. Beginning to ask yourself what your intention is for the day. Maybe by just trying to choose one word. And one more breath here. And we can walk our hands in inch by inch. And now go ahead and cross at your ankles. I'm just going to face towards the top of my mat. We'll do a little reverse tabletop pose. So plant your feet hip width distance apart, palms back behind you, shoulder width distance apart. And you're going to push, squeeze through your glutes and lift your seat up as high as it can go. So for me, this is a really big stretch through my shoulders. For you, depending on your mobility at home, you might not be feeling much. We're not here too long. And bring your hips back down, cross at the ankles, and we'll do a variation of cat and cow down on our forearms. So coming down on the forearms, keeping your knees under your hips, just cat and cow from here. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, tailbone up, and then exhale, round and contract. So it has a different feel when we have less space. I want you to really try to emphasize this through your upper back. Take 2 more cycles here. Inhale. And exhale. One more. And curl it in. Come to a neutral spine and making sure you're still at the top of the mat. You're just going to walk your feet back, form plank. And draw the lower belly in. Reach your heart forward. Keep your hips down nice and low without letting your pelvis drop towards the mat. And just building up some heat into your Sphinx pose. Hips come down, point your toes back. Open up through your chest. Really roll your shoulders back here. And let's melt on down. Press your palms into the floor. Our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take your time here to really settle in the pose and to stretch everything out. Make sure your fingertips are spreading wide and that you're pushing primarily through your fingertips and your knuckles, taking some of your body weight out of your wrists. And I want you to curl your tailbone up towards the sky to draw your lower belly in. At the same time, you're pushing your chest back. Your knees can totally be bent. Don't worry about having straight legs here. We're going to reach our right leg up towards the sky, bend your right knee, open up your hip in this variation of 3-legged dog. And then you're going to exhale, come forward to plank, tap your right knee to your right shoulder. Inhale, 3-legged dog, stretch it up. Exhale to twist, right knee over towards your left shoulder. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Knee to nose, come forward, look past your hands and step that foot through. In between your palms, we're coming up to our high lunge. So my feet are hip width distance apart. I'm bending my back knee because if I straighten it, then my pelvis is out of alignment. I have a bit of a sway back. So I'm bending my knee, I'm drawing my lower belly in, and I'm really keeping my core and my abs very engaged here. Cactus shape with your elbows here, so you bend. And we're gonna inhale to lift and lengthen, little back bend. And as you exhale, round and contract to bring your forearms in together. 2 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Lift your gaze and you can just bring your left forearm underneath your right, binding once or twice for your eagle arms, Garudasana arms. And we're going to come into the full expression of Garudasana, our eagle pose. You're going to step to the top of the mat and you're going to wrap your left thigh over your right one, maybe looping the toes back. You don't have to. Both knees should be bent as you sink your hips down. Release your hands to your hips. And then carefully unwind your legs. Lift that left knee up as high as it can go. And see if you can straighten your legs. Go ahead and point through your toes. We're gonna bend into that supporting leg, coming into our boat pose. Woo, a one-legged squat. I know that's tough. Any variation of Navasana boat pose here. Crossing at the ankles, downward facing dog. And you're welcome to hang out here, or you can take a vinyasa, inhaling through plank, exhale to chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, your upward dog. And we all meet lifting our hips up and back. Take a cleansing breath here. Really release that flow in through the nose, out through the mouth. Left leg rises, bend your left knee, open up your hip. And we're gonna tap our left knee to our left shoulder, coming forward into plank. Back to your three-legged dog. Twist left knee to your right shoulder. Get it as high up as you can. Inhale up and back. Knee to your nose, look forward past your palms in order to step that foot through. Make sure your feet are hip width distance apart so you can lift up, high lunge. So I'm bending my back knee. You might not need to do this at home. Just make sure you have your hip bones underneath your shoulders, and make sure you're not flaring through your ribs and opening through that rib cage. Keep it pressing down. So lots of stability here through our chest. Bending into your elbows, little cactus shape as you inhale, squeeze, almost like you're doing a little cow pose, and then moving into cat pose as you bring your forearms together and contract. 2 more. Inhale, last one. And exhale, bring it in. Lift your gaze, eagle arms the other way. So this time you're gonna be bringing your right arm underneath the left, binding once or twice. And when you're ready, come to eagle pose. Right thigh crosses over the left one. Maybe the toes loop back. Your left leg should be bending. So both knees are bent. You're squeezing everything in through the midline. So lots of inner thigh strength. Hands to your hips, whoop. And carefully uncross the legs. Lift that right knee up as high as you can get it. And we're gonna straighten that right leg, point through the toes, a one-legged squat into Navasana boat pose. So any arm variation that you'd like. A little shaking is totally normal. Cross at your ankles, step your feet back. Take your flow, inhale plank, and lower. Back bend of your choice. And we meet downward facing dog. Take a cleansing breath here again, in through the nose, big exhale out the mouth. All right, last flow here. Reach your right leg up to the sky, bend your right knee, open up your hip. From here, we're coming into laying triangle. So you're gonna tap right knee towards your left shoulder, so twisting like we did. Roll to the inner edge of your left foot. Straighten your right leg so you can drop that right foot down and reach your left arm up. So both of my legs are pushing into the floor. Looking down to the mat, bring that left hand down, come back to your three-legged dog. Right leg rises. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Right foot between the hands. Back foot spins parallel to the shorter edge of your mat as you lift on up. Let's reverse. Left hand down, right arm up. Big side body stretch. Into your extended side angle. Bring your right hand down to the floor, to the inside of your foot. Left arm reaches up overhead. And now shout out to a teacher I did a class with recently, Greta Hill. I love her classes. She's on YouTube as well. She did this variation called Crouching Tiger from here, so we're gonna do that here as well. So from this extended side angle, I want you to lower your left hand down and back, and then straighten your right leg as you bend into your left knee. I'm flexing my right foot here, and really just try to sink it down as low as you can. And back into your extended side angle. Keep rotating the palm. Easy twist, left hand down, right arm up. Transitioning to your side plank pose, Vashisthasana. Lift your hips up as high as they can go. And we'll take our vinyasa, right hand down, Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. All right, one last flow on the last side. Left leg rises, bend your knee, open up that hip, and you're gonna twist to bring your left knee to your right shoulder. Coming through to plank, laying triangle. Drop your right heel down, straighten your left leg, and reach your right arm up. So this is very similar to a side plank, but I have my left leg extended. Right hand down, lift that left leg all the way up and back, three-legged dog, warrior two. Left foot between the hands, back foot spins parallel to the shorter edge of your mat. Rising on up. Reverse, right hand down, left arm up. Into your extended side angle, bring your fingertips to the floor, right bicep along the ear, keep your hips nice and low. And we'll find that crouching tiger variation. So circle your right arm all the way down and back, and then start to straighten your front leg, bend into your back knee, sink through those hips, flex through your front foot. Stretch it out deeply. Back into your extended side angle. Keep rotating that palm until it touches the mat. Left arm rises, either holding here in your easy twist or Vashisthasana, side plank. Pressing your hips up nice and high. Into your flow, our last vinyasa, Chaturanga, upward dog, downward facing dog, and go ahead and bring your knees down to the mat, widen your knees, big toes together, child's pose, and relax it down. We'll start to slow things down here. After this dynamic flow, try to slow down your breathing. Really coming back to yourself here. And go ahead and walk your hands in. And we're just going to lower down onto our backs so you can swing your legs out in front of you. We'll be coming into cat pulling its tail. So make sure you have space on the sides of your mat. So we'll start by straightening your left leg. Pull your right knee in towards your chest. We'll do this one in steps so you can decide where you want to stop. Start with a twist. You're just going to cross your right thigh over your body towards the left. This is option one, just doing a reclined twist. Option two, intensify it by straightening your right leg and maybe sliding that hand further down. Final option is to do the full expression of cat pulling its tail by bending your left knee and using your right hand to grab a hold of this left foot. And it's almost like you're trying to pull your legs away from one another while still pressing your right shoulder down to the mat. So there's a lot going on in this expression of the pose. Feel free to do a different one. And from here, we'll be coming into reclined shoelace or a Supta Gomukhasana, reclined cow face pose. So you can bend into that right knee and you can keep a hold of your foot. We're just gonna roll onto our backs. So you're trying to align your right knee and your left knee, one on top of the other. Grab a hold of your feet as you pull down. So what is your intention for the day ahead? Maybe a word inspired from this powerful practice. Some kind of energy that you want to keep with you and carry through your day. Go ahead and uncross the legs. Just pull them in towards your chest here. And we'll find our cat pulling its tail on the second side. So this time you need to straighten your right leg to the floor and pull your left knee in towards your belly. So option one, just find your reclined twist by crossing your thigh over your belly towards the right side of your mat. And you can extend your left arm out. Option two, do the same twist but with your left leg straight. And finally, option three, you can bend into your right knee, grab a hold of your foot with your left hand, and try to really press and wrap that left shoulder down. So lots going on. Just try to breathe into it. And don't feel like you need to force yourself into a specific pose. There's really nothing to prove here. This is your practice. Let go of judgment and expectation. Instead, we're just trying to be curious about what's possible, what feels good. Three more breaths here. And bend into your left knee. We're gonna find that reclined knee pile pose, Supta Gomukhasana. So one knee over the other, and you're using your hands to pull the feet away from each other at the same time pulling down. And release the hold of the feet, uncross your legs, and you can either just draw your knees in towards your chest, or you can find the expression Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. Try to keep your hips grounded on the mat, so you're pushing your tailbone down, using your elbows to widen your knees. And another option here would be to straighten your legs. And let's release. Just bring your feet to the edges of your mat, so wider than your hips, and take a little windshield wiper motion, dropping knees and thighs from one side to the other. This is meant to be something to soothe your lower back, so be really attentive and mindful to that area. And you might want to take this next minute just to do whatever it is that your body needs for you to do. We are going to take a short Shavasana. For morning classes, I don't like to linger in Shavasana too long in case you do fall back asleep. Usually I don't do Shavasana at all. but I feel like it would be really beneficial after this strong sequence. So before you get into it, just notice if there's something else that your body is needing. Maybe reclined butterfly, maybe a little bridge pose. Maybe you want to bring your knees into your chest again. And whenever you feel ready, you can straighten and extend your legs out, palms facing up towards the sky. Close your eyes. And we're just going to be about 1.5 minutes here, really not too long. We'll simply linger in this silence and stillness, showing yourself gratitude for making it to the end of this pretty challenging morning yoga class. And breathe deeply, so we're reawakening. Stretch your arms up overhead, really lengthen everything out. And we're gonna roll to one side, come up to take a seat. Sitting up tall here. Hands at your heart. See if you can choose and hold in your heart this one word intention for your day. Really showering yourself with praise and gratitude. And let's close with the chant of Om one time. Inhale to chant, breathe in. Om. Thank you so very much, everyone, for doing this energizing intermediate morning yoga class. I would love to know what you thought about this one and how it went for you. There were definitely some challenging poses and transitions, but I'm glad you stuck with it. You know, even if it wasn't easy and even if it didn't go the way that you had planned out, you made it here, so all good. Please subscribe, leave me a comment, and hopefully I'll practice again with you very soon.